For the less wealthy camp, maintaining their fire was a constant battle.
Someone's got to bend down and blow, man.
That fire was the thorn in my side.
Please, slow, please, man.
No, it's gone.
You did let your fire go out a lot and then you needed help. Why did that always happen?
Small. And what I needed to do was build it up with my kindling and everything, and then get the big logs off.
And you're right, the big logs, because actually it then burns under the big log, even when it's raining. And all you need is a tiny little ember in the morning and you're away.
You get smoke from the fire.
Yeah, wankers. Unable to keep their own fire alight, the less wealthy camp had no choice but to seek help.
We had to nick the camp to get a little ember.
Hello, 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 hello.
Getting them embers, it was like a TO2.
Our fire's gone out. Got no fire at all.
Didn't really want that rich given to the poor.
Smoking fire. Hopefully we can keep it alive this time.
We're in a walk of shame. And something like this time, we are not going back there again.
Hello, Baby Totoy. Hi, host. Shout out sa iyo, Baby Totoy. Kumusta ang buhay?
Someone let the fire go out last night. Everyone goes to sleep, wake up in the morning, it's not there.
I'm not proud to admit it, but we also have a little smart for the time that they're coming in, they're coming for fire.
Oh my god.
We were in this sort of position of power.
Don't waft it too much, so it will just explode in your face.
I think that they probably thought that we were all complete bastards.
Mangingisda ako ngayon.
Probably right.
After fire, finding food was the islanders' most demanding.
Okay lang naman.
But all of them failed to capitalize.
Off day ko kaya makapag LS muna bago mag-work uli. Nasaan ka ba, Totoy? Baby Totoy. Nasa Pinas ka ba?
So we couldn't even eat it. Two fish in the whole 5 weeks of the I think we got an arm.
Yung mga taga Pinas, lalong-lalo na dyan sa sa Tanawa, sa Batangas, sa Talisay, Batangas. Ingat kayong lahat.
But those fish were just unapologetic. They were dancing around out there, almost shouting for us to come and try and catch them, but we couldn't.
You really want that? Why do you get it then?
And what about the nets? Because experience says net fishing is very efficient. Cover a big area, work you're asleep. Why didn't you press me more with that?
Well, when we put the net up, it's going to work. And then nothing.
With around 500 local species of edible fish evading the islanders, they even tried once to fish together.
The thickness thing, they're going to eat it.
I thought that these tropical beauties would be swimming into our net and we were going to have some luscious sort of fat fish.
Together, the groups attached a found fishing net to float and managed
Me, Barnes and Taz was swinging the nets back and it was quite a strong current.
How looks like he's going under. He kind of looks like he can't keep up.
Just tighten up. It is so strong.
He don't realise he's out past the end of those rocks. We're just really, really strong. And like thinking to yourself, I can't do it, I'm too tired.
This is a bad idea. Robert, Sarah. 3 guys have gone to...
It's just those currents. Didn't know which way they were going. It was just so terrifying.
What are you doing, Mercedes?
No, Mercedes whipped her top up and she ran in.
I tell you what, it was hard. It was hard going against the current.
She weren't the fittest, but she was one of the bravest.
She is strong, that girl. Let me teach her to the rescue. She is a good swimmer.
Mercedes' courage helped prevent a difficult situation turning into something far more dangerous.
I thought, I'm not getting this t-shirt wet again, and dry it. I was probably like flipping shamu the world. Let me get you top, Mercedes.
She whipped everything out. You could hardly miss them even from half a mile out. I mean, they were like two red flashing beacons.
Decided not to eat those kind of things. But then when the hunger really kicked in, we had no choice. But the limpets and the snails did actually turn out to be surprisingly tasty. I thought they were vile. Barbecued limpets. Eluded velocity.
When it comes to desert island survival, you can't afford to be a fussy eater. Those who adapt win out.
They are what we call giant limpets.
Winkles and snails are in there. And crabs. Some crabs are in there.
Oh god.
So they its tail.
Let's just make it as prawn cocktail sauce.
That's disgusting.
I haven't got a clue what I mean. That was not good a bit.
Idiots?
No. I can't eat that.
The fussiest person in camp was Ben. He just wouldn't eat.
Nah, I won't eat them.
Why is it?
When they go in my mouth, I'll be nearly vomit.
He didn't eat for 20 days. 20 days. He had like 2 limpets just because he had to have a bit of energy.
When you got a drink, kind of go.
I've never ate shit, but it was almost like, that's what I imagined shit, but that's one thing I didn't like.
Overriding their taste buds proved equally challenging when a wealthier group discovered one of the island's more exotic foods.
What's that?
Vomit fruit. Vomit fruit does not sound massively appealing.
The vomit fruit, that probably was one of the most rank things that I've ever tasted in my entire life.
But it's really, really good for you, isn't it? There's a bit of minerals in that. I will eat it.
That vomit fruit is the most revolting thing I have ever smelt, and I've smelt necrotic ulcers.
The thought that you did it once would not put people off. So the fact that we actually kept eating
Oh, no, didn't really bother. I didn't really bother.
Thank you. Ikaw din maganda. Kumusta?
For the less wealthy team's only vegetarian, herons.
Killing that snake was one of the hardest things I had to ever do.
Ang connection ko ay
Environment hit home.
This is not a holiday. This is hell on earth.
mabuti naman. Ang signal ko nagalulo ko.
Parents obviously was the first to leave the island. What do you think he found so unbearable?
The reason he gave for leaving. I was like,
Naglulo ko ang aking signal.
and he was a fit young man. He could stay.
It's going.
I had enough. I was waiting to go home and just, be with my family.
Oo nga eh.
And another shock. Team hit an all-time low.
Oh, I'm strong.
Umuulan kasi dito.
So weak. You know,
Being knackered and being starving, it just breaks you down as a person.
The physical strain took the greatest toll on Mercedes, who just couldn't keep up with daily tasks.
I'm so unfit. I hate it. I feel like my body's packing up. And I really, 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 really.
Oh, Mercedes, I was gutted when she left. But when she had decided enough was enough, there was no way of moving Mercedes at all. She was quite happy to lie there, get bitten to pieces, and she didn't really care about anything.
So why did she leave?
She didn't feel she could do what she could because her weight was an issue for her.
It's actually about things like self-doubt, not believing we're capable. That really is the lesson of the island. You're hungry, tired, beaten up, but you stay.
Yeah.
You dig deep and you don't give up. That's what separates you.
I love you all. When I left, it did upset me a lot. I didn't pull my weight nowhere near as much as what I should have done. But since I've come home, I walk now and I walk a lot more. I've really shifted myself big time. And I'm a lot happier.
Kijk elke vrijdag om 8:30 naar de allervetste films op Spike. Deze week in de vrijdagavond filmavond. The night of our lives. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
Wait, you're separate.
Cocktail redress.
Vrijdag om 8:30. Alleen op Spike.
More questions?
Jumbo start het jaar goed met heel veel groenten. Nu extra laag geprijsd. Maar ook Lipton Ice Tea 1+1 gratis. En Robijn Klein en Krachtig of Robijn Capsules ook 1+1 gratis. Jumbo, elke dag euro's goedkoper.
Mineral 89 van Vichy. Met mineraliserend water en hyaluronzuur. Hydrateert. Geeft veerkracht. Versterkt. Mineral 89. Jouw dagelijkse booster voor een sterkere huid. Verkrijgbaar bij Jens.
Een nieuwe inbreker. De ouders die genieten in alle rust van een ontspannen vakantie.
Maar dat is wel lekker in dan.
Elektrisch rijden verandert alles. Maar hoe ver je ook rijdt, soms moet je toch even stoppen.
Boek nu een kindvriendelijke vakantie naar Gran Canaria of Tenerife. Lekker in dan.
De nieuwe Renault Zoe. Nu vanaf €299 per maand. Meer informatie op Renault.nl.
Soms maak je van die keuzes waar je later spijt van hebt. Dus ik naar Hans, want daar mag je altijd terugkomen op je keuze.
Kom je montuur toch daar?
Ik kan je even zien.
Om te zeggen dat die helemaal goed is.
Altijd tevreden met je montuur?
Het is misschien nog wel leuk om samen nog wat te proberen.
En anders mag je gewoon terugkomen. Dat maakt Hans anders.
Mijn dochter wil ik verrassen, omdat ze vandaag jarig is.
Oh my god.
Ik had met een aantal ups en een aantal downs. Middels dit gebaar wil ik maar zeggen, ik hou van jou.
Mijn allerliefste dochter die vandaag haar 24e verjaardag viert. Dikke knuffel van mama. Dus mijn moeder. Heel leuk.
Greet. Zeg het op jouw manier.
Bij ons krijgt iedereen dubbele brilvergoeding, €100 korting of de tweede en derde bril gratis. Brilvergoeding voor iedereen. Dat maakt Hans anders.
Wie ga jij feliciteren? Ga nu naar greet.nl.
Elke dag gaan Jason en ik samen op zoek naar liefde op de eerste swipe. Stream ik urenlang op zoek met Sarah en de vader. FaceTime ik samen met Larissa voor een mening. En als het echt spannend wordt, trekken Fred en ik ons tactisch even terug.
Sige, okay lang Hazel. Thank you sa tamsak.
Ik zou zeker mijn auto hier nog een keer verkopen. Was heel vriendelijk en geholpen.
Ja, toch?
Don't worry.
Wij kopen auto's. Gemakkelijk, gratis, online vaccin.
Mo ang ating mga kababayan, ang ating mga kaibigan.
Geen snacks en een goede prijs.
Zimmerly, met 2009 minuten of sms'jes, nu voor maar 50 per maand.
Drukke dag? Dan ligt een snelle keuze soms voor de hand.
Die verre reizen maakt, kent vele cocktails. Dit is geen vakantieganger. Dit is vakantie.
Nu bij Domino's iedere tweede pizza gratis bij afhalen. Laat je liever bezorgen, dan krijg je je derde pizza gratis. Bestel nu op domino's.nl. Domino's, die is van mij.
Ziet, sofa, pizza, sofas, sofas.
Chair, relax, mega couch. Wij staan voor lekker onderuit zitten. Deze week Motel California. Vanaf €749. Vandaag kopen, vandaag zitten. Doe je al 25 jaar. Van je technologie die naar niet brengt. Zo autorijden te zijn. De Nissan Micra met Intelligent Mobility technologie. Tech and moves.
Op Facebook verkopen we kleding aan miljoenen mensen in binnen- en buitenland. Maak een foto, upload hem, koop je items zonder kosten. Stuur je geld en ruim meteen vast. Download de Facebook-app. Bij al je outfits van je huis. Charity.com.
Sommige klusjes in huis kun je prima zelf oplossen. Andere kun je beter aan een vakman overlaten. We zijn helemaal
But why my connection is always bad?
voor je flesje teruggeklaard. Zoekvoer.nl. Zo gefixt.
Complete bril voor €25. Hoeveel koop jij er van je brilvergoeding? Charity.com.
Western doors, you suppose fix machines, but I still leave tissues in the pockets of my jeans.
De grootste ruziemakers uit de Master staan tegenover elkaar.
Pasok mga kaibigan.
Nieuwe afleveringen, donderdag, 8:30, alleen op Spike.
Funny's killing us now. Let me show you.
My knickers have got salt on, my skin's got salt on, and then I'm sweating just where my knicker line sits.
I think it just needs to get dry. It's one of them things. I need to just sit with my fanny out.
For some castaways, island life just rubbed them up the wrong way.
Could you not have a bit of charcoal from the fire? I have tried this thing. I don't know, I put it on too hot. So I've fucking burnt myself on top of what I've already got. Jesus, Sammy. I'm just determined to ruin it. I'm having boyfriend, I think, what?
Maybe you had massive infections, or how have you kept on top of that?
It's what I mean, but we do all absolutely stink.
Smells pretty bad, but actually you think it could be much worse.
I think the fire is the best deodorant. The best odor to toilet.
Yeah.
And it stops you smelling for you.
You think all of you not washing your hands is going to be really bad, but actually
You're right, you just cover it up with other stronger smell.
But tackling body odour was the least of the islanders' personal hygiene.
Went to the toilet. 15 days. Yeah. I felt like I was giving birth. It was awful. Me and Ali were kind of in a bit of a competition. She hadn't been, and I hadn't been. And then she had been for hers, so I started thinking, I'm in trouble now. So I'm going to go and show you around food.
Oh, this is just everybody's dream.
Everybody would ask us every day in the camp, have you been? Have you been? It started getting to the thing where has Laura been for? Now entering the girls' toilet.
So this is the girls'
So
toilet.
this is exclusive access. And we learned very quickly that hibiscus leaves are the best leaves to clean yourself on the island. Not one from the walls in.
That's your perfect bit of
Best feeling in the world. I didn't even feel I was too excited. It was going circular, because I was so much. It was like a Cumberland sausage.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Round, round, round,
That's
round.
absolutely filthy.
It's probably about the size of my head.
Alright, love. That is more than enough there.
In the wealthy camp, toilet etiquette hit a new low when a mystery islander started leaving unwanted gifts.
And we had the phantom tour that kept sort of leaving the sort of camp, going 3 meters to the stopping one.
It's a bit close.
You wondered what you were doing. Seriously, I was probably opening my bowels 2, 3, 4 times a day.
I think that tree was not wide enough.
This comes out. It's not fun.
The islanders may not have found, caught, or killed much food, but that didn't stop them from talking about it.
Homemade lasagna and chips, right? With Mexicano cheese each layer, and I think it would be Mexican lasagna.
Oh my God.
The subject of food was very, very apparent, and it was something that was discussed a lot.
I would absolutely murder all of you to get a nice pizza. Something simple like buffalo mozzarella, sun-dried tomatoes. That's it.
Where's that from? What dishes have you learned?
No, like Italian restaurants.
Ah.
Best one so far, chicken Kiev pizza.
What?
Yeah.
What's a chicken?
And all everybody sat and talked about was bloody food.
The food situation became so dire, the wealthy group rolled the dice with an ill-fated attempt to raft to the neighbouring island.
It was food. It was never.
The ambitious but flimsy raft hit choppy waters, and the mission went from risky to downright dangerous.
Every bit food. At this point, we were pretty much starving. But if you pull your weight and you all get on together, then you can be victorious.
A second expedition was planned, and this time a modified raft was built with help from both camps.
What's a good bit of teamwork, eh? Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay, so this is your raft.
Yes.
Iteration number 2, on the basis that all survival is about learning from failure.
Yes. Well, the first raft, we went 2 grand, so we used big pieces of wood because we thought that actually we were going to all be transported on the raft, which was probably a disaster.
I like this idea. It's plastic bottles, but for a survivor, you'd be able to use that buoyancy and build something that's actually got really good first aid.
Yeah. It's so light. I mean, you could just literally put it through the water.
Just holding on to it and kicking it. So it's everything I ever done.
The crew was rewarded with its first sugar hit in weeks.
I can't believe I've actually even seen pineapples growing. This doesn't seem real.
For the exciting discovery,
Oh my God, it was like ecstasy. It was just this huge sugar rush that went to, I mean, we were all as high as kites.
Darling, I love you.
Oh man, I'm rushing, I'm buzzing.
It really gelled us as a group because we were having a joint venture.
We ended up coming together when it actually got to the point that we couldn't survive apart and we needed to come together. We needed it.
That's the bones of it.
At that point, both groups were pretty much at crisis point in terms of starvation. And with a big group of us together, then we could actually be a lot more efficient.
They better first we bobble it and fuel it and then drill it.
Yeah, boy!
buoyed by their successful raft expedition, the islanders planned more joint ventures.
When we sort of all started spending more time together, we just started chilling, and the more we started chilling.
We built a canopy over this fire as a team.
Yeah, go, man.
Do you think maybe we'd know?
To do with where you've come from, what you've got. Egos and any sort of fight for power had gone, and everybody just wanted to get on.
When you did come together, things started to change.
Yeah.
After the last 2 weeks of being blinded.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you regret therefore leaving that so late? I do. You all brought so many different survival skills and traits and character personalities. But was there anyone who really stood out and who kind of surprised you?
I think Ben, that was amazing.
We were all saving centers.
Yeah.
Ben's time on the island was about to be cut short.
One of the bits just hit me in the eyeball.
Are you okay?
My safety team was scrambled to assess Ben.
There are issues, there are problems, and you really shouldn't be here. But I don't think we're going to lose my sight.
This was my eye. I would be going.
I've started something, mate, and I'm finishing it. I'm not going. I'm not.
But the doctor's words soon sunk in.
I was absolutely gutted, but I still say now they had to take me off their kicking and screaming.
me take a look at that. Move to the right. Move to the left. He actually had a scratch in the eye. And if it's left unattended, basically that's major risk.
Yeah, I think it's not to stay on there. Whether it gets stopped with always.
Look what washed up in the south this morning. A little bit of green. What do you think? Stylish, huh?
Albeit mock wedding.
You are now married and you make this.
Obviously, you've full lots of close relationships. Any romantic relationships or anything you do that might develop on?
I feel a divorce coming on.
I think legally you have to be married for a year before you get divorced. So you're committed for another 363 days.
I don't think there are any close relationships though, but we.
No romance. Everyone said disgusting. I don't think there's any possibility for romance.
But unbeknownst to most of the other campmates, two islanders kept sneaking off together.
When I first met Phil on that board, I did think, oh, I've got a typical London Cockney geezer here. Loud, obnoxious, a little bit rude.
But 5 weeks of
That was the time I got to like put the work in, really. Do you know what I mean? If it didn't work there, it weren't going to work. Find out something different.
Today we're going to talk about something that you would think doesn't need to be talked about, but I've gotten some messages in the last 2 months, one just recently, and apparently it's just, it's something that needs to be said again. Now, what has happened is, and this has been, I'll get a PM, and it's a pretty disturbing story. And what happens is, I'll give you the last two examples. 2 months ago, I got a PM from a guy who laid out the story that he had met a Filipina, and they knew each other for about 3 to 6 months, and he was head over heels in love with her, just really like, oh gosh, she's so sweet. And I know, you're already thinking, well, that's just insane. And it is insane. So anyway, so he bought her a house, and he's contacting me now because once the house cleared escrow, as an expat, we can buy a condo or we can buy and own a house that sits on leased land, but we cannot own the land. We can own the house, but not the land on lease. So he goes ahead and buys a house and pays for the house and the land, all of which go into the name of this Filipina. And even if they had put his name on title, that only increases his liability. That doesn't give him any right to sell or borrow against the property. So it belonged to the Filipina because she's a Philippine citizen. Now, so he goes ahead and buys the house and land for his Filipina girlfriend 2 months ago. And he's contacting me because he's gone back to his home country. She's made it clear to him, well, we're done. I got my house, and so don't bother looking me up your next visit because me and my friend here will call the police if you try to get on the property. And, well, long story short, it's thanks for playing. There's nothing her name, and she's telling you that you can't visit there. She's got all the legal right to do that. Now, yeah, from the beginning, that's why this guy should not have done this, because he has no legal recourse. Now, maybe if he was to go and put it before the court and
Hi sis.
to a lot of court hearings,
Shout out sa'yo.
maybe there's like a little 1% chance that the court might have some on it. It's money that's gone due to a foolish decision. Now, and again, like I said, I've been getting these about every 3 months or so. They'll just drift in, same story. And not recently, this month, I got another one. And in this case, same thing. Guy met the Filipina, thought that she loved him, right away decided, oh, I'm going to buy a house where we're gonna. Here's the mistake that's made. He made the thought process, well, we're going to get married in the future because things are going so good right now. Why not just buy the house now? Well, because it's a dumb idea. That's why. But he went ahead and bought the house. Same story. Now it's all in her name. And she has made it clear to him, you're not welcome at this house. We're done. And again, thanks for playing. So now his message to me was how angry he was. The other guy felt the injustice of it all, but this guy he's angry at the Filipina, and that I understand because she did do him wrong. He says he hates the Philippines and they're all after his money. There's that key word, all. And he met her in Angeles, and so now he's angry and bitter. And his question to me was, well, since the Philippines never, but you were really looking for a needle in a haystack when you went to go meet some. That was just a recipe for disaster. I could have guaranteed you that it was going to end badly. And I tried telling him there's other islands, there's other places to look. But he's so, and this is the point I want to bring, look at any other islands. He won't consider another method of trying to find a good woman. He's skipping over the step that he made a bad decision. So as long as he doesn't deal with that and realize that he made a bad decision, he shouldn't have gone looking for a wife down at the walking street in Angeles. He shouldn't have bought her a house. When he barely hardly knows the girl, until he can own that mistake and accept that he made a huge mistake and it could have been easily avoided with some patience. Until he does that, he's stuck in this mode where now he thinks that the fault is completely on the Filipina and it's completely on the entire nation of the Philippines. He's blaming everybody for something that is really almost more than 50% his own mistake. And so now he's bitter, he's angry, and I don't see him changing. I mean, until he comes to grips with his part of this whole bad mess. So, like I said, over the last 7 years, they're angry or whatever, or they're hurt, they're heartbroken, but apparently not. And so I just want to put this out there for those of you guys, or maybe you've only been dating women in your home country and that's just been kind of one mess after another, which again, I can totally see that happening, with just the way women are in the West for the most part. And so maybe you've been out of the game, you really, maybe you're just kind of in a desperate position where all of a sudden you go to the Philippines and not only lose your head. And what I'm telling you is listen to what I have said over and over and over and over. Don't get married. Don't buy a house. Don't invest in anything. Just acclimate and get used to how things work in the Philippines. And as far as buying a house, again, I've said it before, you really shouldn't be thinking about buying a house for a Filipina in the Philippines until after you have gotten married and after you have spent a good 3 years in that marriage and no changes happened after the marriage. She's not hounding you to go back to your country and become a citizen there. She's not hounding you to invest in her brother's business, you for excessive marriage. Okay, now start considering you want to buy a house in her name that you're going to pay for as a gift to her, a security for the future. It's not an investment for you. It's not something you're really going to own. It's something you're giving to a wife that has shown a consistent good character. That's when you start thinking about buying a house. But buying a house for a Filipina, a girl, a woman, anyone that you've only known for less than 6 months, you're not even married to her, you're buying this house for her because you might get married in the future? Seriously, slap yourself. Don't do it. Do not do it. And I keep really huge mistake. And the only thing I can credit it to is maybe you guys are a long time and you feel you need to give her anything she asks for, even a house. It starts usually with, I need an iPhone. Well, gee, she lived for 10 years, her whole life without an iPhone. Why is it she suddenly has to have an iPhone? And then you give it to her, and then she's like, "Oh, he's good for the iPhone. I'm going to bump this up." Now, let's go ahead and now she says, "Well, I need a new roof for my parents' house, and as long as we're doing the new roof, we may as well do the room addition." And if the guy is operating from a position of desperation, if his calculation is, "Gee, if I tell her no, she might leave me, and I'll never get another woman interested in me again," if you're coming from that place of desperation, what I call the scarcity mindset, you're going to be primed to do whatever she says because you're going to be afraid she's going to lose. You're going to lose her. Well, I got news for you. When a woman starts working you for money, if you're going to lose her because you say no and you tell her no, my phone, I'm not going to do a room addition on your parents when we've only been dating 3 to 6 months. No. If you lose that woman, that's a good thing. You're dodging a bullet. You're weeding out the wrong type of woman. Be patient. And as I've said, a girlfriend gets girlfriend money, a fiance gets, and if you've just got to accept that, okay, so worst case scenario, she leaves you. So what? The Philippines is full of Filipinas, good ones. And if you just lost, for lack of a better word, we'll just say it, a gold-digging Filipina, don't worry about losing that woman. Let her go. You're saving yourself a whole lot of hassle. You're saving yourself from a bad marriage and probably financial ruin in the future. For you guys who have never been to the Philippines, you've probably never interacted with a Filipina. Again, you really should not be making any huge decisions like this. Manage to go there on a 3-week vacation, a 4-week vacation. You really, again, should not be falling in love to the point where you're treating this new romance. I mean, that's about the nicest way you can put it. It's a new romance. You can't be committing huge money to this. Don't buy them a house. That should really go.
Look, you can't let stuff sit here. This is disgusting, guys. You gotta shut this place down. There are some things that need to be cleaned, but at the same time, proper cleaning facilities to clean any of this.
So when you opened this bar, what was the deal with?
It's gonna be the nuts and bolts about 300,000.
300,000. How much money does he have in it?
None.
So your brother either doesn't respect your money, or he's an idiot.
Some of you may have seen these huge. You would think doesn't need to be talked about, but I've gotten some messages in the last 2 months, one just recently, and apparently it's just, it's something that needs to be said again. Now, what has happened is, and this has been going on for years, ever since I started the channel, about every 2 months, maybe every 3 months, I'll get a PM, and it's a pretty that's a pretty disturbing story. And what happens is, I'll give you the last 2 examples. 2 months ago, I got a PM from a guy who laid out the story that he had met a Filipina, and they knew each other for about 3 to 6 months, and he was head over heels in love with her. Just really like, oh, guys, she's so sweet and fantastic and everything. And so because things looked like they were going well, he went ahead and bought her a house. And I know, you're already thinking, well, that's just insane. And it is insane. So anyway, so he bought her a house, and he's contacting me now because once the house cleared escrow, and for those of you who don't know, as an expat, we can buy a condo, or we can buy and own a house that sits on leased land, but we cannot own the land. We can own the house, but not the land. The land we have to get on a lease. So he goes ahead and buys a house and pays for the house and the land, all of which go into the name of this Filipina. And even if they had put his name on title, that only increases his liability. That doesn't give him any right to sell or borrow against the property. So no matter how you cut it, that land is going to belong to the Filipina because she's a Philippine citizen. Now, so he goes ahead and buys the house and land for his Filipina girlfriend 2 months ago. And he's contacting me because now she has moved in along with her boyfriend and some of her family members and made it clear to him. Now, meanwhile, he's gone back to his home country. She's made it clear to him, well, we're done. I got my house. And so don't bother looking me up your next visit because me and my family are here and we'll call the police if you try to get on the property. And he's contacting me to say, well, what can I do about this? And, how can I get my money back? Well, long story short, it's thanks for playing. There's nothing you're not going to get this money back. You voluntarily paid for a house, put it in her name, and she's telling you that you can't visit there. She's got all the legal right to do that. Now, is that fair? No, but because it's not fair, that made it a bad idea from the beginning. That's why this guy should not have done this, because he has no legal recourse. Now, maybe if he was to go and put it before the court and maybe, had a good enough attorney, who knows? Maybe after he spent a lot of time and went to a lot of court hearings, who knows? Maybe there's like a little 1% chance that the court might have some pity on him. But don't count on it. Don't count on it. It's money that's gone due to a foolish decision. Now, and again, like I said, I've been getting these about every 3 months or so. They'll just drift in, same story. And not recently, this month. And in this case, same thing. Guy met the Filipina, thought that she loved him. Right away decided, I'm going to buy a house. We're gonna. And here's the mistake that's made. He made the thought process, well, we're going to get married in the future because things are going so good right now. Why not just buy the house now? Well, because it's a dumb idea. That's why. But he went ahead and bought the house. Same story. Now it's all in her name. And she has made it clear to him, you're not welcome at this house. We're done. And again, thanks for playing. So now his message to me was how angry he was. The other guy felt the injustice of it all, but this guy feels the injustice and he's now angry. And here's the problem I want to identify is he's angry at the Filipina. And that I understand, because she did do him wrong. But he's angry with all Filipinas now. And he's angry with the entire country of the Philippines. Says he hates the Philippines, and they're all after his money. There's that key word, all. And he met her in Angeles. And so now he's angry and bitter. And his question to me was, well, since the Philippines is all bad, and I'm never going to go there again, where can I find a good woman? And I tried telling him, well, there are good women in the Philippines, but you were really looking for a needle in a haystack when you went to go meet some girl there on the Angeles walking strip, and then buying her a house. That was just a recipe for disaster. I could have guaranteed you that it was going to end badly. And I tried telling him, there's other islands. There's other.
I'm trying to say, motherfucker, there's gonna be no way what happens. I'm concerned that he's not gonna come back. Bottom line is, I don't want him to miss out on the opportunity of us turning this space around and making it what we both want, and hopefully it falls. Right. How you doing?
No. You speak to him?
Phone's off.
You're an attorney. I have huge respect for your discipline.
I appreciate that.
That said, you as a business owner, you understand the liabilities of getting people sick.
No, I understand that 100%.
Because if the health department saw it, they would shut us down. There'd be violations, there'd be documentation. It's illegal. What were our sales last year?
probably less than 500,000.
We're losing, what, 6,000 a month?
More or less. And here in Arizona, when it gets hot, we have slower months. Everybody will tell you, we slow down.
Do you think what happened last night could play a part in that downturn, just in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody plays a part. Everybody on this line right here.
When you look at what happened last night, who do you feel is the guiltiest?
It's clear who's responsible, or who's responsible, because he's the manager, he's the owner, operator. And when I say owner, obviously he's the minority owner that you pointed out last night. He was here to run the nuts and bolts. Yes.
But he blamed it on Lisa.
Yes.
So how long has she been here?
7 years.
So 7 years. And that's what you've learned?
No. Before we walked in, I mentioned all of the
Akala niyo mansion, no? Hindi pa. Antayin niyo muna ma-makeover. Siyempre, ganun muna. Umpisa muna sa isa pangit bago gumanda. Hindi pag hindi kumita, edi ganito na itsura. Pangit na talaga. Pero itutur ko kayo sa aking bagong mansion. Bye! Hi guys, I am here now sa bahay na bibiling ko. Binili ko to siya kasi kababayad ko lang kanina. So, ngayon mag-withdraw naman ako. Magkakahit naman ako for the renovation. So, ito na ipapakita ko sa inyo. Yung bahay na binili ko. Actually, abandoned house. Kasi hindi naman abandoned. Umalis na kasi yung mga may-ari. Tapos, ibenta na siya. Worth 80,000 pesos. House and lot na po siya. Hindi ko alam kung anong square meters ito. Pero binili ko siya. So, ngayon, ipaprenovate ko siya kasi papahan ko siya sa pinsan ko. Kasi binili ko to for me. Or kung mag-asawa na yung kapatid ko. Kasi sa kanya nabibigay yung bahay ng mama ko at saka papa ko na pinagawa natin na siya ako. Tapos ate ko, meron naman siya tinulungan ko siya gumawa ng bahay. Ngayon naman, itong katabi naman ng sa bahay na ate ko. Yung binili ko, ginagawa ko na opportunity kasi sayang naman, magkatabi lang kami. Tapos paparenovate ko siya, tapos maupahan ko muna while sa Manila sa pinsan ko. So, ito yung bahay niya from pasok. Papatanggal ko tong lababo kasi masyadong para lumuwag tong yung mga ginawa siya na bahay nito dati tapos hindi na naayos. Hindi pa na finishing tapos ang lalaki ng halipin nito na apat kasi for double pang dalawang andanas kasi ito eh. Pang dalawang palapag. So papatanggal ko to lababo para mas lalong lumuwag yung sala dito. Lumuwag. Tanggalin ko ito yun yung table nito. Tanggalin ko itong sala. Padiretso ko lahat dito. Kasi may vacant pa rin sa likod. Dito kasi yung CR. Dito yung CR. So lalabas ka muna sa bahay. Kasi yung CR na sila sa labas. Yung gagawin ko, ipapasagad ko ito lahat dito. Ito, yun yung dirty kitchen. Papasagad ko ito. Sa likod. Ito yung pinakalas niya. Tapos, tatanggalin siguro ito. Yung paligid na tatanggalin ito. Diretso ito. Hi! Magkapit-bahay na dahil kami. Pag nabili ko yung bahay, nabili ko na pala. Ito din dati dito. Ganito lang yun yung bahay nila. Tapos sinagad-sagad yun nila. Doon. Kukunin ko lahat ng gamit dito. Ang matitira sa kanila, tubig na lang. Tapos mama ko, ma, limayan ka ba? Yan, limingan ka. Ay, si mama ko, ayan. Oo, ayan, si mama ko. Yan siya, yan, ah, kahit wala mo pagkakita. Hi. Wala pagkita kasi mga wanted kasi sila. Ayan. Hindi ko alam anong ginagawa nila, bakit sila nagtatagal. Tatlo yan sila. I-comment niyo po kung anong ginagawa ng tatlo. Nasa lamesa po sila. Anong ginagawa nila. So, bahala na kayo mamusga kung anong ginagawa nila. Basta ka nag-duty sila everyday po nasa office po yun sila ginagawa nila. So, gusto niyo makita sila? Anong ginagawa nila? Ang mga wakwak! Mga magtalib. Nabuhag-buga. Sige na mag-start na dyan. So guys, I have my own house na! Here sa bahay, tsaka sa ating ko at doon sa amin. So tatlo na sila. Ito sa harap namin, bibilin ko yan kasi para sila naman yung ipapakural ko. Sa harap namin kasi hindi kami makadaan kasi binibenta sa amin yung lupa na yan sa harap ko. Ayan. Hindi ko binili dati kasi sa Japan pa ako. Ngayon, binakuran nila, hindi kami makadaan. Binakuran nila tapos nilagyan nila ng bako dito sa harapan. Kaya ang tubig namin hindi makalabas doon kasi nilagyan nila ng bako. Ay, patid siya ng papa ko. Ay, mga mabubuting tao sila. So, hindi kami makadaan ngayon. din kami lumaan sa likod. Kaya papagawa na ako ng tulay doon, no? Tsaka dun sa bahay namin, papunta din sa kalsada. Papagawa ko ng zipline. Dadaanan ko na lang yung bahay nila. Tsaka yung mama ko, dadaan ko na yung bahay, daduraan ko naman sila. Saan sila? Nasa taas na ako sa ito. Hanggang na-irritate pa namin kasi inayos nila kasi na araw-araw kasi siyang ginagamit. Araw-araw ba? Kasi sila siya kasi na-overheat kasi may ginagawa kasi sila dito na renovation dito sa babae. Sila ayan na. Ayan siya, si Ate Michelle! Pinayos nila kanina kay mama ko kanina. Inayos siya kasi mainit pala pag ginagawa nila pag nag-duty sila sa office. Kapal lang mukha. Gusto nyo eh, Duterte na lang sila. Yung pinsan ko si Bakang tulog sa kwarto. Ayos na ako din sa kwarto ko kasi gagamitin na yung sarili kong bahay. Ito yung bahay, kwarto ng mama ko. So dito na ako. So bye guys, thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat sa panonood sa akin sa YouTube and sa Facebook. And maraming salamat for all.
So you're gonna grab watermelon, order some bottle this up, get all the juice out of the watermelon, release some of the flavor out of the cilantro, half an ounce, 5 agave. Then we're gonna do rosado tequila, that's half. Give it a nice smile. Make sure all the wives are happy.
Keep taking it with you all the time.
Your chunk of ice, right to the rock spots. So just pour it in, and this is your boozy watermelon cooler. And once again, back it down.
It's Cecilia. Hello? Hey, Cecilia. All right, well, did you get my messages at least? You don't want to talk? All right, thank you. Yeah, so, we gotta keep moving. I never wanted it to end this way. We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta keep training. We gotta keep this bar open.
All right.
I'm not a bar operator. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about running this bar that he does. Listen, I'm a grinder. I mean, I know how to work and I know how to work hard. So if it takes me working 18-hour days, it'll get done.
Guys, why don't you all just come on over here before we go? This is going to be a very difficult stress test. We lost our manager, Raul. We lost our kitchen manager, Lisa. So nobody has the experience to manage this bar tonight. I expect there to be big issues. Romero cares. Gloria cares. The question is, can they do it? You guys need a priority. So if the kitchen crashes, which one of the two of you are going there?
I'm okay. I'll open it.
I'm gonna be helping out tables, helping watches, and everywhere.
Everywhere. So we're good to go?